Hi, this is Corey from Podfly Academy. Today we're going to be looking at setting up your equipment in order to record your podcast. There's a lot of debate within the podcast industry as to what type of microphone and equipment one should use. Well, that really depends on you and the situation. So we're going to take a look at a couple simple setups today and get you comfortable with the equipment. So let's dive in. Before we go out and buy a microphone, we need to determine how it is we actually want to get the audio from our voice into our computer. There are a number of ways to accomplish this. Here at Podfly, we often ask our clients right off the bat, how many people do you intend to record in the same room? The reason being is from there we can determine whether or not you need one microphone or multiple. And this also makes a difference in terms of what type of microphone you're going to purchase. For many podcasters, the easiest way to go is to buy a USB microphone. Going to Amazon and searching for USB microphone will yield dozens, if not hundreds of results. These can range in price from about $15 all the way up into the hundreds. I have with me here today a Rode Podcaster. This is one of the more expensive USB microphones on the market. It's very beautiful, broadcast quality, and sounds amazing. We recommend this to a lot of our clients who are looking for a broadcast quality voice recording. What makes this great is that there's nothing in between this and the computer other than a USB cable. Simply connecting it to your Mac or your PC will recognize it as an audio source. Right on top as well, we see that there's a headphone jack and a volume control. So plugging this in and getting started couldn't be easier. Getting going with a USB microphone is a piece of cake. However, the limitations are you can only have one USB microphone connected and recognized by your computer at a time. A lot of us like to have guests on our podcast in person or a co-host for our show. In these cases, we need to look for a different microphone solution. Here's a simple microphone that I bought on Amazon for about $30 with a stand. The difference, though, is that this is not a USB connection to your computer. This is something called an XLR connection. It's a different type of cable that is typical for microphones and used professionally. In order to get the audio from this microphone into our computer, we need a USB interface or a mixer. If you've decided to go the route of having a USB audio interface or a mixer, both of which we'll be looking at in a moment, you can now decide what quality of microphone you want to have. As we saw with a $30 microphone that I purchased online, you can get good audio sound. But many podcasters want to have a great sounding professional voice. Well, that can be accomplished using something called a condenser microphone. You can see in front of me here that I'm using one now. These are a little bit different because they actually require electricity to be fed into the microphone in order for it to work. This is called 48-volt phantom power. Many of the USB devices that we look at and mixers have this built in, and it's as simple as turning on a switch. That power is fed into the microphone and then it picks up your voice. These microphones as well, though, can be found online for as low as $120. They go up to $3,000-$4,000 if you're really serious. But for most of us, a $200 condenser microphone is really going to do the job and sound super professional. No matter what type of microphone setup you choose, we need to be sure that we're using our microphone properly. In the case of the microphone in front of me now, this is called a side address microphone. There's a part of the microphone that I need to speak into in order for it to pick up my voice. You'll notice that if I turn away, it's going to start to get dimmer and dimmer. I'm going to speak now and turn away from the microphone. As I turn away, you can hear that the quality of my voice starts to degrade. As I get closer to the microphone, everything sounds a lot better. This is a typical rookie mistake of a lot of podcasters, only because we're not familiar with this equipment yet. A lot of people, when they're speaking, tend to move their head, have hand gestures, and move what we call off mic. It's really important, no matter what type of mic we use, that we stay on microphone and speak directly at it. Looking at even one of the lower end microphones that we use, we have to remind our guests and our co-hosts as well to speak directly into the mic. Being anywhere from 4 inches away and speaking directly into it is going to give you the audio quality that you want. It can be a little bit intimidating at first, but once you get comfortable with it, you'll realize that your audio quality is going to be superior. In the specialization section of these programs, you're going to hear from voiceover artists and radio professionals that will really help you get your voice sounding its best. Microphone technique is going to be very well covered as well. We do want to consider in the short term, though, what we are doing to make sure that our voice is getting into the microphone as best as possible. You'll notice that on my microphone, I have something called a windscreen. These are also called pop screens because it stops your P's and your plosives from going into the microphone and making it clip. The same idea when we looked at this condenser microphone, you may have seen me take this off. This is a cozy or a sock that usually comes with the microphone. This means you can get close to the microphone, speak your P's and your T's, and not have to worry about it. The same idea with these lower end microphones. They do have a capsule on it that is built for this purpose, but this is more to protect the microphone than stop your voice from popping. A simple little cozy on top of it for as low as 50 cents can make all the difference in the world. I mentioned earlier that if we decided not to go the route of a USB microphone, we will need some sort of an interface to connect the microphone to our computer. There are a wide range of these products available as well, some of them for as low as $60. So the level of complexity that we need will depend on the number of microphones we want to connect simultaneously. If we're connecting more than 2 microphones, in some cases we need a mixer. These USB mixers can be found for as low as $200 and really do the job. In most cases, though, we do recommend you look at something like this. This is a USB interface. This particular model is a Lexicon, but there are, again, a wide variety available. These are fantastic because you can plug your microphone or your line into these, and at the front, you have the control for the gain. This is going to determine how loud your microphone is going to send signal into your computer. Also, it has a headphone jack so that you can listen to your voice as you're doing it, and then listen to what you've recorded when it plays back. So let's take a look at getting our sound now into this device and then out to our computer. Connecting the microphone to my USB interface is a very simple operation. I'm going to take the XLR cable male end and plug it into the end of my microphone. You're going to hear a click when it's in place. I'm then going to take the female end of my XLR and plug it into the back of my USB interface. Here you're going to see the XLR input. Make sure that it's in good and snug. Next, we need to connect our USB audio interface to the computer. Simply look on the back of the unit for the USB connection and plug it in. From there, we'll simply take the USB connector and plug it into our computer. We've now connected a microphone and the device to our computer. The indicator shows that we have power. You can also plug in headphones into the headphone jack to listen to yourself as you record. This is a great way to monitor your use of the microphone. But before we send any signal into the computer, we want to make sure that we have a good level going from the microphone to the USB device. In this case, I'm going to be adjusting line 2/microphone. This is the input that we plugged into the back. I'm going to turn this level up until my little red light starts peaking red. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Notice that when I'm checking my microphone, this is clipping red. That means that my signal is too loud. Speaking at my normal voice, I want to back this level off until the red light no longer lights up. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Now that I can speak into my microphone and the red light comes on very infrequently, I know that I have a good, strong level going into my computer. Now I can open up my digital audio workstation. Keep your eyes open for future specializations on advanced equipment and setup. As we progress through our podcast, add more hosts, and get more sophisticated, our equipment needs can evolve and change. But for now, a simple USB mic or USB interface is really all you need to get a good quality sound and get going. For transcripts of this and more, simply head over to podflyacademy.com.